All right, guys, I'm back again with another money and crypto, well, mostly crypto, but money and crypto update. And I want to start off with this story first. Is being reported from Fox Business. I'm not a big fan of a lot of mainstream media, but at the same time, I still slightly keep aware of everything that they're talking about because a lot of the stuff they talk about, a lot of us talk about weeks or months in advance. But Fox Business had just ran a story right here. I'm posting a screenshot of it. Food inflation in America, June 2022 versus June 2021. And it's showing that the price of pork has gone up 9%, the price of milk has gone up 16%, the price of oranges has gone up 10.9%, the price of coffee has gone up 15.8%, and also the price of butter has gone up 21.3%. And I know a lot of people who do grocery shopping, like you've definitely felt the effects of like how much the price of all these things going up has hurt your pockets. Like for me, for example, I like to eat avocados. The price of avocados has gone up significantly too, and again, in the comment section, let me know if you've noticed any price increase in your grocery store and what foods do you typically get that you've noticed have gone up over the years. I think I'm gonna post a screenshot of about a month ago when I went to Target. I bought like 3 bags of groceries and the bill came out to $102. And I'm like, this is mind blowing because just just like a year and a half, 2 years ago. So yeah, just 2 years ago, back in 2020, this same food I was buying, like that same, because a lot of those food I was getting was like stuff that I've been getting for a while. Those same groceries 2 years ago would have only cost me like 50 or 60 bucks. So this is how inflation in general, but especially food inflation, this type of stuff could just sneak up on you, because you might see one thing that'll go up slightly, but you gotta realize when you're grocery shopping, you're not buying just one thing. Just like the Fox Business report, they're showing the price of pork, milk, oranges, coffee, and butter. So it's like you get all these different things, and if all these things are going up 5, 10, 20%, before you know it, you're paying 2-3 times more than what you used to pay for groceries, and they're still not giving you the same amount. Because there's also a thing called shrinkflation, where they're either raising the price or keeping the price the same, but then they'll reduce the size of the packaging. So I think that's something that is, I don't want to say worrisome, because that might sound a little dramatic, but definitely something to keep aware of. Next story here is a story from Gas, which is just like a account on social media, and it's a story just going over, like, comparing like the gas fees on different blockchains, and just to compare. So Ethereum, of course, is the highest, where the price is ranging between, on the low end, $1.90, and on the high end, $20.78. And mind you, that's right now during a downturn where the price has actually decreased a bit. Like whenever we have like an intense like uptrend in the market, like you might as well make that number go up 10-20 times. Like there was one time where I just wanted to cash out of a one coin. I believe it was like Proppy or Sandbox, where I wanted to cash out, just like because I had high profits. I wanted to cash out. Well, relatively high profits considering where I got in. I'm not saying I took out millions, but I took out just a few hundred, and I had to pay like $200, like $150-$200 just in gas fees. Like, so that's why like I'm really trying to, as time goes on, just really avoid ERC20 tokens unless I'm really into the project. But yeah, so Ethereum, the gas fee right now is ranging from $1.90 to $20.78, which is crazy. Solana, it's 0.00021 cents. And so for Solana NFTs, it's 34 cents to $1.55. For AVAX, which is Avalanche, it's 2 cents. For Phantom, it is 0.0000 cents. So I guess just extremely low, like something beyond the fourth digit of zero. For Matic, which is Polygon, it's 1 cent. For Bitcoin, it's 34 cents. For XRP, it is 0.0000828 cents. For XLM, it is 0.0000110 cents. And for Algorand, it is 0.00040 cents. And for Algorand NFTs, it's 0.0007 cents. So just again, that's just to put things into perspective of just how costly it is to interact with anything that's in the Ethereum ecosystem. Which, even though Ethereum, it's such a massive, it's just the elephant in the room. Elephant in the room sounds kind of weird, but it's definitely like I don't want to say the big dog because that sounds cheesy, but it's definitely like, just like it's the top dog. But I feel like that's mostly because of first mover advantage, obviously. In the long term, I don't think this could last, and I don't trust Ethereum's team to be able to transition the proof of stake and also Ethereum 2.0 in a reasonable amount of time. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. So I definitely think a lot of projects like Flare have a great opportunity to just easily surpass Ethereum at any time if they want to, or they do want to. So they have the chance to pass it. Next story I want to get into is this here is Brad Kimes from Digital Perspectives. He's actually calling out Jay Clayton because he's reposting a post from Squawk Box. Not familiar with that platform, and the quote says, "Nothing has changed in the last decade since the Stock Act. There's a general sense that there's a need for improvement here," says former SEC Chairman Jay Clayton on the video buy from Nancy Pelosi's husband. An outright ban on stock holding or stock trading, that's not practical. Mind you, Jay Clayton, I can't stand him. I'm sure many of you listening to this can't stand him. He's a corrupt piece of garbage who is a coward, who just to sabotage XRP and XRP investors put in a lawsuit against Ripple the day before he left office. So now he doesn't have to deal with the chaos he caused. Only thing he might be dealing with is like the benefits, because I'm almost positive, I'm positive he was linked to the very people that would benefit from him sabotaging XRP and Ripple. But Brad was quoting that, he was responding to that article with the post that says, "Not only should it be allowed to happen, elected officials and spouses should be made to use blind trust. The other thing that shouldn't be happening is Jay Clayton allowed to comment on this, knowing he appeared to cash in from his SEC gig to Apollo." What I think that's very important to point out is the fact that Jay Clayton, as soon as he left the SEC and as soon as he caused the damage that he caused, he instantly transitioned into being tied up with all these companies that ironically have ties to Ethereum and are paying him a whole bunch of money, and probably were paying him a bunch of money under the table to do what he did in the first place while he was at the SEC. The next story I want to get into is Brad Kimes calling out, it's Brad Kimes again actually, calling out Jed McCaleb. First, I want to talk about XRP Crypto Wolf, who put up a post saying, "Ripple Labs co-founder Jed McCaleb finally emptied the last of his 9 billion XRP from his taco stand wallet on Sunday, ending a marathon sell-off that has been 8 years in the making." And that was just a post from a Cointelegraph article, and Brad was quoting that by saying, "I don't know about you, but I find it fascinating that Jed could sell 9 billion XRP and never be mentioned in the SEC versus Ripple case. It may be speculation, but I feel the sales were obligated and can't help but wonder, who bought all of that XRP from Jed? The Fed? The US Treasury?" And I think that's an excellent point, because it almost feels as though Jed could do no wrong. Like he's been caught up in so many shady things, but somehow he just skirt side of the situation. Like I remember in one of Brad Kimes' other videos, he made a comment that I thought was kind of funny, where he said, if I was ever at a party with Jed and Jed leaves the party at some point, I'm walking right out the door with him, because it seems as though this guy, for whatever reason, has an amazing ability to just get out of bad situations, or get out of situations right before things go left, which to me I don't think is a coincidence, but it's still interesting. And also there was a link to a Pro Coin News article that I also wanted to get into, speaking of that, which is just, I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but it's just an article I think people should check out, just saying, and the title for it is, "Who is Jed McCaleb and why is he untouchable?" So it's just an article explaining who Jed McCaleb is, explaining really all the things that he's been tied to, and even speculating that maybe he is tied to the actual creation of Bitcoin, which many people have speculated on that idea for years. I definitely think it's possible, and I'm actually going to get into that in a second. But first, while I'm still on this article, I'm going to go down to this weird clip of Jay Clayton being asked, "Do you know who Satoshi is?"
Do you have any idea who Satoshi Nakamoto actually is?
So when did you start?
By the way, do you think has the SEC ever tried to figure it out?
Not with any success.
Okay.
And when you look at his body language, he clearly looks nervous. He clearly looks uncomfortable. I'm not even a body language expert, but I'm seeing him. He's like rubbing his like the outside of his thigh, which feels like some sort of coping mechanism. He started nervously laughing. His eyes started squinting in a very suspicious way. His smile looked very forced. Again, I'm not a body language expert, but just to me, it felt like he was clearly hiding something. But now, now that I got past that, I wanted to go down here, where in this same article from this same article here, it's speculating something that many people have already speculated, which is, could Jed McCaleb be tied to the creators of Bitcoin? Because many people have speculated that the actual creators could be Jed McCaleb, Charles Schwartz, Arthur Britto, which many people, or really nobody, has ever seen this guy's face before, and maybe like a fourth unknown person, which could be very interesting. Because if I'm not mistaken, there was an article that just came out recently that said Homeland Security found whoever created Bitcoin. Like they claim they found who Satoshi is, and they're claiming it's not one person. They're claiming it's a group of 4 people that they found and they've interviewed. I think it's interesting that they said interviewed and not arrest, because then you gotta wonder, are these people tied to the government? It sounds like a crazy crackpot theory, but look, it's possible. It is very possible. It is very, very possible that this could really just be some inside job within the government. But again, that's still speculation. Maybe, hopefully, one day we find out the answer to that. Last thing I want to get into is a post from Brad Garlinghouse here. And this is actually pretty important. And it says, who else will be closely watching the House Financial Services Committee's oversight hearing this week on the SEC Enforcement Division? So that's going to be something that's going to be live streamed to tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I'm sure many people are going to be tuned in. Now, will any major news come from it? I'm not sure yet, but Brad Garlinghouse is hinting at it as if something major is coming down the pipeline from that. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye open for that. But, let me know what your thoughts are on all this, and how do you feel about the theory that Jed McCaleb, Charles Schwartz, and Arthur Britto, and maybe one other person could be the people behind Bitcoin. Let me know what your thoughts are on all this, and make sure you guys like and subscribe.